How are you? You're in California, right?
I was supposed to be in California, but I'm in
Oh,
Philly on Lenape land right now.
oh,
So
wow, cool.
I'm here, Eastern Zone.
Oh, nice,
What
nice.
about you? Where are you
I'm
located?
in I'm in Florida, so also Eastern
Wait,
time.
where in Florida are you?
Like the Fort Lauderdale area.
I'm literally pulling up to Fort Lauderdale
Oh,
Friday.
really? Oh, whoa, that's so crazy.
That's
It's such a
wild.
small world.
What the
Wow,
heck?
that's so crazy. What brings you to Fort Lauderdale?
My mom just moved out to like I don't know how to
Hmm.
spell it,
Yeah,
but
yeah, Boca Raton.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, there we go. So
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
that's
cool.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Congrats
Well,
on the zine.
oh yeah, thank
Woo
you, thank
woo.
you. Yeah, it comes out tomorrow. It's probably like I don't know, it'll be like a big like printing endeavor for sure. But I'm looking forward to it
Has it
definitely.
been a fun experience putting it together?
Yeah, yeah. It's been great working with Cassie because I feel like we've like been like a good team. Like she's been working on like the spreads, like the design, and then I've been doing like the website, like social media sort of stuff. So I feel like both of us together, it's like made it possible, which is cool to look
Hey,
back on. Yeah. And it's cool to be able to like talk to everyone today, to have like faces to all the interviews that
to
are
all the
in
interviews.
the zine. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Yes,
excited for you to see your
beautiful.
spread too.
Yeah. Could you also remind me how to pronounce your name and the pronouns you
Yeah.
use?
Yeah, Nande. And my pronouns are she, her.
Cool.
And if you
Sounds
want
good.
to let everyone know yours as
Yeah.
well.
Hey, Ingrid. I use she and they.
Nice, nice. So yeah, tell me about yourself and what you do.
Cool. Well, I'm Ingrid. I'm an artist and an educator and also a filmmaker. I primarily teach like after school like youth programs in
Hmm.
very like I tend to find myself in like non-hierarchal like teaching environments, which
Hmm.
is fun, challenging, and also like very collaborative.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I just relocated to Philly here and just finding my footing in the area. I'm an immigrant and I'm originally from Cameroon and France and moved to the States like 13 years ago. And I've just lived a very like vagabond life in between
Hmm.
places trying to figure out home. And a lot of like my artistic practice is based on home and like, what does it mean?
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
navigating through space.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. And that's something I've been figuring out with my film work a lot the past year. Like a year ago, I made a documentary called Bloodline, about me sort of exploring my family tree,
Mm,
like with an interview with my mom talking about how like her family came from Jamaica to Florida and how like just like all these like stories like that kind of thing. So that's why I was really like drawn to what you do because it's very like authentically you, and I think that's something that's like really important right now. But what's
true.
something, yeah, what's something that you've taken away from this year in terms of social media and activism? Because that's something I've been thinking a lot about, and I feel like you would have a lot to say about this.
Yo, that's heavy.
Yeah.
um, Social media and activism. I mean, honestly, I feel like we so me and my friend Rooney, we co-run a micro cinema called No Evil Eye, and we built it and created it on the premise that there just wasn't a space for like people who enjoy film talking about film and watching it. There just wasn't a space for like non-white men to really gather and talk
Hmm.
about things very critically from like um, a like not anti-imperialist perspective, anti-capitalistic,
Hmm.
pro-feminist, etc. And so like one question that we got asked was like, yeah, like your presence is pretty heavy on social media. Do you feel like that goes against your ethos of being like radical? And it's like
Hmm.
we can only do so much with the tools that are already here. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
social media I think is hella powerful to put
Hmm.
out the message, but it's also hella destructive and
Yeah.
detrimental.
Yeah.
Like Instagram with their new guidelines, it's like
Hmm.
shadow banning hella people, blocking.
Hmm.
So like there's so much that we can do, but also like we have to give power to the digital world and like start
Hmm.
to have conversations about like how can we own our content? Like
Hmm.
can we create a platform that's ours, like by us for us type thing? I don't know.
Hmm.
That I think that's like what I think about, but I've also been seeing how like activism has like just been like tying. It's just been like everything's interconnecting now that we have the
Hmm.
internet. Like you could just see someone doing this. Like I see hella like funds for people like trans
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
folks, queer folks, non-binary, and I'm like, share, you know what I'm saying? Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I know also a lot of people have taken like hiatuses from social media
Mm-hmm.
because it's been so hard this year. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
don't know.
interesting the sort of like conjunction of everything that's happened this year, like the pandemic and Black Lives Matter. I feel like it kind of like reached like a like pivotal crossroads for everyone, or even though we're all at home, you can't really. Oh wait, I don't know who froze. One of us froze.
Oh, sorry.
Oh
Am
yeah,
I
you're good.
back?
You're good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just like I don't know. That's something I've been thinking about how, but I'm thankful for the internet as well because it's allowed me to meet people like you and a lot of the other people in the zine,
Mm-hmm.
and has allowed us to like meet on like Instagram Live in this way, like of all
Right.
places.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess in terms of talking about like the online space as well, you've mentioned that you've converted to sort of teaching online as well. So how has that been like for you, especially with the way that you teach?
Yeah. I I miss teaching. I got into teaching first because I needed a side gig to like help like my family, support my family.
Hmm.
And so it was very much like a means to an end. It
Hmm.
was just like a job that was available. And then it turned into like, oh wait, like I naturally thrive in this setting. And
Hmm.
there's something really beautiful about entering a classroom and like checking your ego at the door, and like
Hmm.
you're no longer the teacher, like you become the pupil in a way. And
Hmm.
I really enjoyed that experience. And so that's why I've been continuing it for the past like 3.5 years. But once we segued online, it was hella challenging because
Hmm.
unfortunately, like some institutions just didn't have like the support to give to educators. Like I work
Hmm.
mostly at after school programs, so it's just kind of like we need the same projects, we need this, and it's like
Hmm.
we only got Zoom, and now it's like not a lot of minors trust Zoom, like parents
Right.
trust Zoom. So it's been challenging, but also on the other coin, it's like it's it's been challenging in like the way that it's like difficult, but it's
Hmm.
also like challenged me and like my co-educators to think about like what are ways that we can connect digitally.
Hmm.
Some of the questions that have come up are, how do you create a sense of community online? What does
Hmm.
it take to sustain that sense of community online? How much, like now we insert like breaks, which we never really would do before.
Yeah. Hmm.
Or like, you know, how do you replace what used to be like socializing over food when everybody's getting ready? Now we don't
Hmm.
have food to share and break,
Hmm.
you know, we're not breaking bread. So it's like finding platforms like WeChat, Google Slides, AutoDraw. What's that game called? It's not called Assassins, but it's like
Among Us. Oh,
Among Us.
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, pulling up in the private breakout rooms and doing
Hmm.
like Among
Oh,
Us,
that's so nice.
or like Scribble.io. Like
Hmm.
there's like actually some really cool like digital things that have come out of it that I
Yeah.
think should stay, you know,
Hmm.
post this era.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah. I
been
agree.
challenging, but I'm really, really blessed and grateful to have had like a supportive system, and
Hmm.
teaching with other people has been like the collaboration has like really like helped out.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, that's sick. And in terms of next year, do you have anything planned for next year, or do you see anything changing or staying the same in terms of like teaching in the online space? Like, are there programs that you anticipate will sort of become more popular as we're still at home and still online?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what the future of teaching online looks like. I do have demands and I have wishes. Like,
Yeah.
I want teachers to get paid better. I want better
Hmm.
support for public school teachers. Um, and also free Wi-Fi for everyone.
Hmm.
Like just a lot of accessibility things like ASL folks in the classrooms,
Hmm.
translators in the classrooms. Like I have a lot of like needs, but
Hmm.
yeah, we as a community have a lot of needs. I don't know. I hope people, I think one of the beautiful things that came out of this, and it's unfortunate that it had to come through this like pandemic, is that a lot of the work that disabled folks were doing and demands they were doing around like a remote learning was like now
Mm,
being awarded, but just only under the guise of a pandemic and not necessarily
right.
like
And not
seeing.
before that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think that's something that I think people should push themselves towards, thinking about accessibility more.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. That's
Yeah,
cool.
I was also going to
Yeah.
say, sorry for the earlier
Yeah, no
point,
problem. Uh-huh.
for your film Bloodline. Have you heard of Third Horizon Film Festival?
No, I haven't. Let me
They're
write that down right
they're
now.
based in Miami, and they do a
Oh,
lot of
cool.
stuff around like diasporic voices and like
Mm,
yeah, Black diasporic voices. So
hmm
you should look into it.
Yeah, and it's called Third Horizon Cinema
Yeah, Third Horizon Film Festival.
Film Festival. Okay, cool, cool. That's dope. And I guess, do you have any inspirations or things that have been inspiring you in terms of like books or movies or people or anything, like either
Um,
recently or
yeah,
just
yeah.
overall?
Honestly, I recently it's been a lot of music stuff. Like I've been
Mm,
cruising SoundCloud quite a bit and
mm,
YouTube. And I've been finding some artists, which I'm horrible with names, so I don't remember their names, but
hmm
I've been finding some really interesting artists recently that I want to dive into. And then, um, yeah, I feel like that's been my biggest inspiration. And also just
hmm
like living in this current world. It's like, all we have to
hmm
do now is dream. Because, like,
Yeah, yeah.
what do we want? What do we need? You know?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Nice.
what
And
about
then I
you?
that's a good question. Well, today and last night I've been listening to a lot of Green Tea Pang, which is this South London artist, and I think she's so cool. I don't know like why I've been listening to her music so much. I think it's because she uses like a lot of like reggae beats
Mm-hmm.
or like reggae like influence
Yeah.
in her music, so I feel that like subconscious like connection to it. But yeah, I'm trying to read a lot more. So I started a podcast like last night. I like uploaded like a 4 minute like introduction. So I think I just want to get into like researching things to be able to talk about for other people is sort of
Yeah.
the ways I'm at. So yeah,
Sweet. Yeah, I
yeah.
like Green Tea
hmm
Pegs. I like her music video for Mr. Sun.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I
pretty
actually
sick.
showed that at the last kickback event I had, and
Yeah.
it's so cool.
It's so well edited and directed, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. And then in terms of No Evil Eye and Grid Zine, if you want to talk about what they are and if you have any plans for what
Yeah.
they'll turn into.
Cool. Yeah, so I was saying earlier, me and my homie Rooney Almi at Phantom PDF,
Mhm.
co-run at No Evil Eye Cinema. It's like it started out and it still is a nomadic micro cinema space. So for the later half of 2019, we with our own coin and our just like passion just like
Mhm.
went from city to city and toured a program of 7 amazing filmmakers, and we would add a filmmaker from each city that we visited, or either a film that was
Mhm.
produced or filmed there.
Mhm.
So we could have like a really nice like conversation with the audience, and we always were like it's less Q&A than it is like having a conversation and a dialogue
Mhm.
with both curators and filmmakers. And our ethos is very much so like let's take a radical new different approach to how we watch films. And so we were very intentional with how we curated the films, the order of them. It's like there was a story, there was
Mhm.
like a beginning and an end. It was like looping, and people caught
Yeah.
on to that, what felt so good.
That's cool.
But what's new and what's coming up with it is like I'm not gonna, yeah, it's kind of top secret, but
Mm.
we've been really generously supported. So in the
Ooh.
next year and a half, we'll have a lot of programming that we're going to be able to put
Ooh.
out, free
Mhm.
programming, and we're going to be able to pay filmmakers, writers, critics. Like,
Oh
so it's just
wow.
kind of like you'll see that more roll out in 2021. We're doing a lot
Mhm.
of behind the scenes work right now,
Yeah,
but we
that's
have
sick.
a really, really, really exciting lineup of programming that's going to be
Mhm.
free, entirely free.
Yeah,
So
that's amazing.
that's like amazing.
Mhm.
And then with Grid Zine, it's kind of like it was like a baby, like a love project between me and my best friend Silk, around like the time of when Trump got elected in
Mhm.
2016. And we were like, yo, like immigrants voices are going to be like completely gutted. And
Mhm.
so we did the first issue, which was like featuring and centering the stories of like queer and trans Black, Indigenous, and people of color, like immigrants and refugees living in the United States. And it was like poetry, drawings, paintings, whatever. And then right now we're getting it printed through Mi Casita Press, hoping to release it out in 2021 and hoping to do a tour with it if, you know, conditions allow. So, you know, we're both in the zine making world. A lot of it was just built on Google Slides. Like we did not have InDesign or any of that. Like it was just like, and then, you know, we had like, oh my God, let me show you. I have this really cute stapler that I had gotten from one of my jobs when I left the job. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take the resources. I don't know if you, how do you switch my camera? Yeah, it's like a stapler. Whoa. And you put the middle of the zine here, and then you just,
Cassie, we need one of these.
Isn't
That's
it
amazing.
Yeah, I can give you the motto if you want.
Yeah, please. That sounds so
that
cool.
that was handy. That's how we did everything. And it was just kind of like, it was just like printing using like, maybe not the best ink, but whatever. Like that's what I love about zine making.
It's very DIY.
Self-publishing. It's all the way.
Yeah, all the way so there. Sick. Wow. Well, that's amazing. Well, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about? It was great meeting you face to face. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, totally. The internet works. I was a little nervous, but that means like, you know, I was excited about it. No, I thank you for like including me in the zine. I see y'all and the work that y'all have been putting into this and like just reaching back out and getting everybody together. So I wish hella success to the zine and like all the other artists that are featured, and let's get ourselves organized for 2021.
I'll be doing a lot of manifesting tomorrow, I think.
Word. Beautiful.
Well, I hope you have a great night and enjoy the warmth down here when you get here.
I appreciate that. I hope you also get some rest and celebrate.
Thank you. All right. Bye. Well, have a good night. Bye.